Are we really to believe that the elites don't sacrifice children and have big, huge pedo rings that they're running? I mean, look at that. Podesta, Comet Ping Pong. I mean, most of you guys probably know about some of this stuff. But I don't know if everybody knows exactly how deep that it runs. My mother is a counselor, and years ago she started up a group for people who had been molested and people who had, been sexually abused, and open to everybody. So I was only like 13 or 14 years old whenever she started this group up. But anyway, she started the group, and it wasn't a couple of weeks into it, and she's like, I would like you to come to the group so you. I was a big kid. And she's like, I want you to come to the group so you can, just be there for me, you know, because I guess things scared her. I never asked her why, but I did start going to the group, once a week. So anyway, she would talk to these women and some men, but mostly women. And we really got to know some of them. Some of them really got close to my mother because they trusted her and they knew she was pure of heart and she truly wanted to help. So I got to hear some of the most mind bending stories you could ever hear. And this is 30 over 30 years ago now, when this all started. And I was just a kid. So, anyway, long story short, I heard stories from women that I know were telling the truth. And these were damaged people. People who had altered personalities and multiple personality disorders, and over the months and years that I was with these people and saw and just watched and listened, I heard stories from these women that would curl your toes. I mean, stories of cannibalism, and this is forced cannibalism, and everything was filmed. Everything was. They told the girls that one in particular, they told her, they said, you're going to have sex with this boy on camera, and after it's all done, said and done, they actually dismembered the child and made her eat it. I mean, I've talked to people like this, so I have no problem. I had no problem, believing that these men and women were involved in this from the start. I mean, hell, I've been waiting on this kind of information to come out forever, and so if anybody really believes that all these racial hoaxes and psyops weren't planned to come out right during the time that the Pizzagate stuff started coming out, and they just flooded the media instead of with stories of perversion and sexual craziness. They just called it a conspiracy theory, said people were insane. But that was when all the banning started and all the heat was turned up on all the racism, because they had to divert the people's attention away from what was actually happening, which was that it was coming out that all this had happened. You can only contain something like this so long before people, the whistleblower. I mean, everybody knows that you can't hold a lie down forever or cover it up forever. It'll eventually come out. So it did, but everybody, they had Alex Jones go into full mode, just telling everybody about the Pizzagate and blowing it up big, and then they sent the guy in to do the fake shooting, and just to create mistrust amongst the people concerning anything on this subject. And it is sickening to me that all this huge ring of thing goes on. We know that Clinton was on Epstein's plane 26 times. I mean, that's what they said. I mean, how do we know that it wasn't a hoax? The whole entire storyline, just so they could blame one or two people and take those people down, and then the ring of literally thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, including the children, hundreds of thousands. 800,000 children a year go missing in this country. Now, we can assume that half of those or more would be, parents taking the children, run away with them and not being found. And then the next year they get found or whatever, and then it's not reported again. So the numbers are blown up. But I have to say, at least, 250,000 to 500,000 kids a year are going missing and being taken off and sold as sex slaves and ritualistically abused. I mean, think hostile. If you don't think that people pay, exorbitant fees to dismember live human beings and do surgery with no anesthesia on people, and I mean, all this sick shit's real. It's real. They show you on the TV, but it's real. It's disheartening, And so I make these things on the racial hoaxes and the psyops, but the truth of it is that I'm making these so that people realize they've been diverted. And my disdain for people who fall for it and the actions taken, it's real. But I keep reiterating that these are hoaxes and psyops because I want you to see that some things are covered over with others. I know you guys know that, but this Pizzagate's a real big deal. It's so big of a deal that the effects of it coming out on everything that we're currently seeing and that's why we're seeing it. I mean, nobody wants to believe that this kind of, but we need to squarely look at these kinds of things and with open eyes and an open mind, and we need to think about them because the future is our children. And what are we seeing? We're seeing transgenderism in 5th and 6th graders, hell, even younger. Desmond is amazing. ABC News, 123 News, 33. I mean, do the math. You take the 3 and the 3 and you put them together, mirror them and put them together, it's an 8. 8 is infinity. They're going to keep doing this forever. It's a 33 hoax code. Forever they will keep doing this. It's Ouroboros. It's just a snake eating its tail. It's never going to stop. So they're not going to stop. They're going to keep on hoaxing us until we stand up and stop them. So, and there are ways to do that. But everybody's indoors now because of this virus, this hoax of a virus. 250,000 people a year die in China from the regular flu. Okay? 250,000. So, 3,000 or 4,000 reported deaths. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that anything's real. But, something's going on. But who knows really what it is? Who knows really the reasons for it? This is a hoax. This corona shit is a hoax on humanity that has never been before seen. Biggest scaled hoax in history. And flat earth people tell you that it's the flat earth is the biggest hoax in the world history. And, other people will tell you that world wars are hoaxes. Dave says that, and it's just a repositioning of people. And there's maybe some validity to that. A lot of validity from the people I've talked to. But regardless, the Pizzagate, they had a video called Frazzle Drip, and it purportedly showed Uma and Aberdeen and Anthony Weiner's wife, Beard, and Hillary Clinton sacrificing a child and eating it or cutting the face off or some shit. Sickening. And then inexplicably they came out with deep fakes right after that, showing that they could put the face of anyone in any situation. And see, that right there will create a reasonable doubt. They've already had reasonable doubt. So it's just, what we're seeing is just too much to be believed. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's just a thought.